Thanks for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Gatesy, Forged from Iron. We are joined by the internet sensation, the YouTube maestro that is Mr. Jake Cox of West Ham Unofficial.
Oh, no, he's talking about you, Jake. He ain't talking about me, mate.
No, I definitely ain't talking about you.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, thanks.
How are you?
I'm right. I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm good. Yeah.
Good,
I mean,
good,
what else could I do is spend 3 hours with you two lovely people?
Well, you've only just got here. Hang on. What are you on about? Is there something you're not telling me?
No.
To be fair, Jake, I mean, that's soon going to change. The more you get to know me and Rob, that's going to change quite quickly. Trust me. Like, even my own kids don't want to hang out with me. One of them 6, he'd rather play Fortnite rather than talk to his old man or even watch West Ham with his old man. And my daughter, who's 16, would rather just sit in her room and do her art. So they don't even want to talk to me. So you'll soon learn as you get to know me a bit more and get to know Rob a bit more. You won't want to talk to us either.
Yeah, the novelty will soon wear off. Soon wear off. So,
well, we've got 3 people watching. Hello.
Wow. Hello to you 3 people.
And that's
one of them's in the front room. I think one of them's in the kitchen and the one of them's upstairs. So, yeah.
One's mine.
In this house.
One's me looking at the comments. One's Dad downstairs and probably one's Peach. So there you go.
There you go. Give us a wave, Peach.
So
if you are watching, just if you are watching, Peach, just put hello, Gatesy Duke
Jump
and Jake in the chat. It's fine, and you never know. We might even involve you in this.
We do know. Let's not lie.
Yeah, of course we are, and he loves it. He loves it. So,
can I just put in a request quickly before we go on to the show actually full?
Okay.
Yeah.
We got another comment. Look at this. Look.
What's
Andy Miles. Hello, Andy, mate.
There you go.
See
we're up to 5 viewers now. 5 viewers. Oh my word. 24 million that watched EastEnders when Den and Angie got their divorce. Jake's got no idea. And we're on 5. 5 whole viewers.
To be fair.
Listen.
Oh, hang on. Newsflash.
Oh, I just seen that. I'll tell you what I have just seen. Peach commented at 7:38 saying, yes, big up Duke and Gatesy. He's there.
Yeah, he's there. Look.
Go on, boys.
Let's get him on.
He's on.
What?
Tell you what.
I like you, boys. There is absolutely no normality to our shows.
7, as old Glenn gives me 7. We have 7 viewers. Does it get any better than this? I think our peak.
Can I just jump in? Has anyone seen Andy's comment now?
Yeah.
30 Den is dead.
No, it's a question mark.
Sadly.
30 Den is dead. I think he's asking a question. It's a question mark.
I think he is. And he's shocked by it as well.
He's like,
Cheers, Battle of the Mugs.
Andy,
listen.
Just so you know, if you're in any doubt, Dirty Den actually died twice.
Did he?
About 75 years ago in the first one.
Yeah.
Can I just put in a request quickly before we start this properly?
9.
Although we've been live
viewers,
4 minutes.
9 viewers.
9.
We are 2 away from breaking our record. If we get another 2 viewers, we break our record. We go to 11. My God.
Jesus
you 9
Christ.
that are watching.
We've gone down to 8. We've gone down to 8.
That's it. That's it.
You were prattling on. That's why they weren't listening. I was just going to say, listen, we have habit when we do live videos that we have sometimes, if not, we have pushed the 2 hour, 10-minute barrier on a couple of occasions, right? We're not doing that today, right? Half hour, 45 minutes is more than enough.
Half hour.
For a preview. Why, you got to be in bed?
Well, no, but
right.
Well, yeah, and I've only got 53 minutes left on my laptop. 53 minutes I got left on my laptop, so.
Oops.
Yeah, he's got to go watch some bits as well. So yeah.
I'll see. Andy's going to do a tweet. He's going to get the people out. There.
Is he? Oh, hello, Andy Miles. You are an absolute gentleman,
beauty,
and a scholar of the highest order.
We love you,
Checks
Andy.
in the post. Checks
You know
in
what?
the post.
I'm going to quickly do one as well.
So am I.
Tweet.
Yeah,
Right,
come
I
on.
tell you
Let's
what.
do it.
So am I. Right, Gatesy, you talk about
Live
the game.
tweeting.
Right.
Okay.
Are you confident, Gootsy? I'm good.
Who?
Okay,
Who's
look, I'll
Goosey?
tell you what. So we're going to talk about the
Seriously,
game,
kids, sort
at
yourself
London.
out.
Quiet at the back.
Goosey.
So we're playing Leeds United on Monday. As far as I'm concerned, this should be 3 points for the mighty Hammers. I look at Leeds United, and I've said it to a number of people. I look at Leeds United, and to me, I see it's very reminiscent of Newcastle United under Kevin Keegan in the early mid-90s. Fantastic to watch going forwards. Plenty of attacking flair, plenty of creativity. If I was a total neutral, they would probably be the sort of team that I would pay money to go and watch. I think they really are enjoyable on the eye. The problem is they, just like Newcastle under Kevin Keegan in the early mid-90s, they can't defend. It's real simple. They will leave gaps open all over the show at the back. If we manage to box a little bit clever, we can tear them to absolute shreds. If you go back to the game at Elland Road, the corresponding fixture earlier this season, despite the fact it was only a 2-1 victory, we, for me, were in control of that game. Maybe not dominated it, but we certainly controlled it. I think we're in better form now than what we were back then. They're not in as good form as they were back then. We're the home team. We've got confidence sky high, despite the fact that the last game was a 2-1 defeat at the Etihad. But I know that the confidence that the boys would have got from the performance, if not the result, should mean, I believe, that we're going to come away with, I think, a 3-1 victory. I think this is a game that is absolutely tailor-made for Saeed Benrahma to start. I've been saying for ages, I believe that when he gets that first goal, it will be like Tevez all over again. It will be a release. He'll be off and he'll be producing on a consistent basis. I've been saying for a while, you know, Benny's got to score his first goal. He's got to score his first goal. It hasn't happened yet. I keep predicting he's got to score his first goal, and it hasn't come true so far. It's going to happen at some point. Is it going to happen on Monday again? I'm keeping my fingers crossed, hoping against hope that Monday is the game that Benny can finally break his duck. But even if it isn't, I am confident that the boys are going to seal the deal. I think, well, no, I'm not going to say what I think the lineup is, because I've got a little slide that we're going to do. So I'm going to bring the boys back. I've waffled on for long enough. They're probably mucking around on their phones and devices and all the rest of it. So that's pretty much my take on the game, what I'm expecting on Monday night. So over to you, boys. 11 people. Look at that.
It is because everybody's subscribing, you know, because they want to see something happen.
Well, for those of you watching, 11 people, we did a recording, us three, because it hasn't gone out yet, and I think it's not going out to Tuesday. But you got 11 people that are watching are in for a treat, because at this precise moment in time, or the last time that I looked, we at the mighty Forged from Iron YouTube channel that is coming to you live across the UK and around the world.
You're getting far too carried away, son.
I know. My friend in the middle there, Mr. Jake, he had a beautiful idea with his 1,200 plus subscribers and counting. He suggested that if we, Forged from Iron, got to 100 subscribers, so another 47, if my maths is correct, as from right now, by the end of this month, March, then Duke will sing a song of Jake's choice. Now, Jake, you take over. What is the song that we're angling for Mr. Stribbling to get his vocal cords around?
I'm not going to say it. I've put it in the chat.
Oh, he has. He has.
We've got 12 people watching.
Where has he put it in the chat? Oh, hang on. I can't find it. Hang on. The chat. Oh, yeah. There you are. Right. Okay. That's the Tom Jones version, ladies and gentlemen. So, you 12 that are watching, who I'm assuming all 12 of you are subscribers, and if you're not, you need to go and subscribe to the channel. I am transmitting a subliminal message across the internet to you. You need to go to the YouTube channel and subscribe. You need to hit the bell icon, click all, and away you go. Now, you 12 that are now subscribed, paid up members, what you now got to do is you now got to go out and you now got to convince some poor, unsuspecting West Ham fans to get on the channel as well. And you've got to keep the momentum going. And when we get to 100, Dukey Stribling, sitting right there, looking very sorry for himself, is going to sing a song of his choice. And it's going to be Sex Bomb by Tom Jones. As things stand. There's a possibility we might even involve helium, but we'll see.
Right, what I put backstage is a live subscriber count in Backstage Gatesy, and let's see if we can get 1 subscriber by the time we end this stream. That I'm going to keep refreshing, so please subscribe.
Stream?
Go on then.
Like this. So if I press this button here,
yeah,
53 subscribers, ladies and gentlemen.
Let me
We're
refresh.
now down to 11 viewers. Someone's cleared off.
Yeah, they've had enough. They've had enough of the rubbish that we're coming out with. Yeah. You can't even do that right. Oh my lord! Look.
That's not me. No, that's not me.
Jake's,
I'll
tell you what, I refreshed.
Oh, is that Jake? Oh, I'll take it back, Jake. I love you.
Yeah.
Right. We talk about football. We've talked how long now? We've talked for 11 minutes without talking shade of football.
I did do a little bit about the game, actually. Thank you very much.
Should I start?
Go for it.
Leeds on Monday. So I think personally, for the Leeds game, it's a game we should be winning if we're going to try and get let's talk about food. If we want to try and get, into the Europa League, Champions League places, it's a team we've simply just got to beat. For me, I think they do. I definitely think they've got a little bit of threat, but I think their defense isn't great, and I think we can really utilize that if we've got Ben Rama and Lingard linking up, as we saw against. Of course you went and shared your crisps. I got about 10 crisps out of that whole bag. Just saying. # just saying.
Is that not just the total amount of crisps in a bag though at the minute, Jake? Let's be fair. It's not like you're getting any more.
He had a massive big bowl. Mama Cox had a massive big bowl. And I got about 10. # just saying. But anyway, the game. I think it's a game we should be winning. And we said we're going to do this for half an hour. So we've had nearly half of that already. And we haven't even talked a shade of football. But Duke, over to you.
Let's see if we can change the cameras because we'll be here for 3 days otherwise.
Don't you start.
No, listen. Jake, I mean, listen, I completely agree with you, buddy. If we're going to look at any of these kind of, any of these 3 European competitions that are, going to be doing the rounds next season, this is one of the games that we literally need to be coming out on top of. We can't let this one slide. I've got us down on my predictor as this being a West Ham win. It's essential. I sat down before the City game and I did the next 6 games. I did the whole season, but my next 6 games were the core ones, and I had us down as winning 2, drawing 2, and losing 2. And we're actually 2 points better off after 2 games. I had us down as a draw against Spurs. I had us down to obviously lose, but against City, this is a game that, like you say, it's regardless of how we do it. I don't care whether we go out and we get a scrappy 1-0 win. I don't care whether we go out and we absolutely wipe the floor with them and we score 5 or 6 in the game. It doesn't matter to me. This is a winnable. This is a must-win game for anything that we want to look at going forward. He's on mute. No, he's on mute, chatting away. Stuffing his face on the pizza.
I'm eating a pizza. You were meant to waffle on for a little bit longer. I didn't need you to come back.
There's yours in the background, Jake.
Yeah.
Cheers, Miss Gatesy.
Yeah, no, listen, it's on its way. It's on its way.
On its way to sunny Somerset.
I'm going to let you just carry on waffling. Don't mind me. Don't mind me.
All right, you go on, get out of it then. Go on, disappear. Just
right.
Shut up. Go on.
Right,
How do we
Duke.
get rid of him?
Oh, I don't want to. Hang on, Duke. Please,
Yes.
please just talk away for a bit longer, because I'm sharing the channel to try and get a subscriber tonight. So say how's the game gonna pan out, mate?
Right. Well, listen. I know Gatesy's got a set up for all the formations and stuff. That's his thing. That ain't mine. But based around the game on last week against City, I'd actually like to see us continue with the 3 centre backs in the game. Again, this is my opinion. But I'd like to see us do a couple of subtle changes in there. I'd like to see us move Cresswell out to the left and have him more as a left-sided wing back. I'd like to see Soufal move to the right side of centre back and put Fredericks in, just to give us a bit more of an attacking threat. Obviously, as we know, Cresswell is the top assist maker or top point scorer as a defender for assists, etc. in the Premier League fantasy teams. So I'd like to see him. We've got to keep him in the team for his assists. Fredericks out there on the right to add a little bit of pace. You've got the defensive-minded pairing of Souček and Rice to sit deep to support the back three. So I'd rather see Cresswell, Fredericks get forward, Benrahma in there, Benrahma, Lingard, Antonio would be the other 3 players in there for me. We all know that Leeds need to score 4 goals because we can pretty much guarantee that they're going to concede 3. It's the way that their season's been so far this year. They're going to score goals, but they're always going to concede. And for me, we need to go out. We need to be on the front foot. We need to set up the side to make sure that we can get forward, get crosses into the box, break them down. When you look at thank you, Andy. I like that. That's certainly cheered me up a bit. I think we need to, listen, with the results, with the games that are being played before we play Monday, we can drop down to 8th or 9th, I believe. Oh, we've lost a subscriber. Thank God for that. 8th or 9th place we can drop down to come kick off Monday. Although looking at the table earlier, I think we still got games in hand somewhere down the line. So, it's not necessarily all over there. But listen, with the results and the games as they are, we really, really need to be picking up the points.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Where on earth did that subscriber disappear to?
How I just say?
Lost a subscriber?
Well, because you're sat there munching blimmin' pizza.
Yeah, but we've got a record amount of viewers. We've got
13.
We've broken our record for viewers by 3, and we've lost a subscriber. How did this happen?
Hashtag Pizzagate. Hashtag Gatesy.
Oh, right.
Hashtag Pizza Gatesy.
Yeah. Oh, now we're at 14. So me eating a pizza clearly isn't the factor.
Because that's your brother. That's your brother.
They're looking and they're saying, look at that moron with the headset in the 1976 kit chomping away on a pizza.
Well, there you go.
It's true.
And I can confirm we're back down to 13.
I'm going to go on and unsubscribe from my own personal... Yeah. My own personal YouTube account. I'm going to unsubscribe so we lose another one.
What? Just
look, my brother's...
It's gone up. Put it in.
My brother's turned up.
Put the screen in.
All right. Hang on.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. We've gone back up. There you go. They just temporarily sort of went to the bathroom or something like that. I think.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Sex. But anyway,
he's practicing.
Back to football. Come on. Listen. We're here for football. For crying out loud, you two. Stop diverting away, my lord.
It's you pressing the buttons again, isn't it?
No, it's got nothing to do with me.
Oh, God.
It's a young protege in the middle.
Oh, I see. He's hacked in, is he?
Yeah, I've hacked in. Right. So shall I talk about football?
I think you should.
Please. I'm sure that's what we got you here for. We don't. Trust me. We talk about anything else. This is what we got you here for.
Right. Gacy, have you got your predicted 11s, all of that jazz?
Carry on talking. I'm eating.
Okay, babe. Well, so Leeds, I think one player. Right, let's go. One player I fear. Yeah, come on, I want my pizza. One player I fear from that side. I think there's a few Duke, isn't there? I think there's a few. Luke Ayling. Is quite a decent. I think he's right back. They got Luke Dallas, and of course they've got Patrick Bamford, haven't they? So well, yeah. So Rafinha in there, Dallas. There's some decent players in there. But I'll bring this to you because I've been told to take over. So Duke. Duke, who's one player that you fear from this starting 11?
If I'm honest with you, mate, I look at that side and I don't. And I know that might sound really bad, but I really don't. Bamford, maybe, but then I look at our back four and I think that we can make sure that we've got him under control. Dawson will he'll come off of that pitch looking black and blue by the time Dawson's finished with him. Rafinha, yeah, maybe. I mean, he's got the pace. He's a good little player out there. But any of those players there, Jake, really walk into our team this season? No. So
I
for me,
personally, actually, the one that I'd be, what I'm gonna say,
what we've got you here for.
Personally, there's two players there, Gatesy, and Duke. For me, I think I wouldn't mind their keeper.
Yep.
For me, I think he has been inclined to an error every now and then, but I think he's a good young shot stopper. And perhaps if we're going to play the three at the back, perhaps if Creswell's doesn't want to play, feels like he needs a rest, I think Ayling would happily slot in there, and I think he'd do a job. So that's my two. I am very confident, but there is a couple of there is a couple of players there that could perhaps warrant a warning for me.
What's going on here?
Oh, we're playing around with everything. Gatesy's playing around with everything.
I'm just pressing buttons. I'm the button monkey.
Button monkey, that's it. There you go.
So we go back to the just to sort of go in. This was my predicted Leeds United 11, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, Andy, I'm just going to get rid of your comment there so we can see. I will bring it back. Don't worry.
He's the goalkeeper we've been linked with this week, isn't he?
Yes, that's correct. So Meslier, this I took from, this wasn't me as such. This was from the Yorkshire Evening Post, their prediction. And they know a lot more about Leeds United than I do. So they have predicted Meslier in goal, back four of Alioski, Llorente, Cooper, the captain, and Ayling from left to right. A holding midfielder, Klitsch. The four in midfield, again from left to right, Harrison, Dallas, Roberts, and Rafinha, with Patrick Bamford up front on his own. Duke, your thoughts on that lineup, please.
Listen, as I've said, if you were listening and not, too busy stuffing your face full of pizza, they're not a side that are not going to concede goals. They're a side that will concede bagfuls and have conceded bagfuls so far this season. Listen, if we go out and we score 3 goals, they're not winning. It's quite straightforward. I don't see how they can come up against the side that at the moment are defensively as sound as we are. I mean, we conceded 2 against City, and they were, in my opinion, schoolboy mistakes. As anyone who's watched the videos that we've done know. I personally think we should have done significantly better with both of those goals that we conceded against City. But defensively, we are incredibly sound. Defensively, Moyes has done something to this side that no other manager, apart from Moyes, I suppose, when we stayed up, has done. So as far as I'm concerned, we score 2 or 3. Well, we score 3 goals, they don't win. I think we've got more than enough in us to score, score those 3 goals, 4 goals, 5 goals, 6 goals. I don't care. Listen, it's a win all day long. Bamford's the only one that, for me, is a goal scoring threat for them in that starting lineup that you've put there, mate.
Do you know, I'm going to throw in, being agent provocateur as I usually am, Patrick Bamford. Yeah, decent enough. But again, going back to what I said earlier about Newcastle United being akin to this Leeds United team, the Newcastle United under Keegan, I should say.
Yeah.
Do you look at Patrick Bamford and see Andy Cole, who was often accused of needing 6 chances to score 1 goal?
No, because Bamford needs more. Personally, I like him. I like him, and I watched, and I say that in jest, but I did see him a few weeks ago, and exactly what you're saying there was true. If he was at it from the off, pardon me, if he was at it from the off and on his toes and everything was zoned in from kickoff, he wouldn't be playing for Leeds. If he was at it from the off and it didn't take him, like you say, 4 or 5 opportunities to get that, even that first one on target, he wouldn't be at Leeds. He'd be a top 6, top 8 club. You know, Leeds, until they sort out their defensive frailties, are not going to be a contender for anything in this league. They concede far too many goals for my liking. I watched a video earlier. Their expansive style of play, where they break forward, and even when they're 3-0 down, they're still looking 4-0 down, 5-0 down. They're still looking to try and get the goals, and they may well get it back to 4-2, 5-3, those kind of games. But they don't look like they're capable of winning those games because of the way they just ship too many. But Bamford, for me, no. I listen. If he was on it from the off, brilliant. But if he played for me, I'd be so pissed off with the fact that it takes him that long to get going. So pissed off.
Oh dear. Oh,
language,
dear.
Dukey boy, language.
Dear, oh dear. I have a little bit of breaking news, ladies and gentlemen.
Hang on, don't do it yet.
Can we take the screen so it's not just me up here with my ugly mug slap bang in the middle of the...
Look,
come on.
Look, see this.
There we go. See, I like this. This is nice. No picture of me down here. Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Just making sure that we're all happy. Do you see that from our young friend there?
Have a look.
Message? Look at
Add it to the stream.
I call him,
like
listen, you used to call him friend.
Hey, we're getting closer. I'm telling you now, Duke, you are going to be singing before the month is out. You are going to be singing. And all you 10 people that are watching, don't forget, get your friends. I don't care whether they're West Ham fans. I don't care whether they're not even interested in football. Just get them to subscribe. As soon as we get to 100 and as soon as he's sung, they can clear off. It's fine. We've achieved it. We've achieved our objective. We've got Duke singing. But just...
Did you say 100 or did you miss a 0 off of that?
No. We just need to get to 100. So it's another, what is that now? 46?
46.
Oh, so glad your maths is on point, Rob.
Well, it's, I'd like to say it's a privately funded education, but I'd be lying.
Well, what I am going to say is I've just spent, whilst Duke was talking about and saying the P word and saying this and that, I was sending the link to all my friends, saying subscribe, because we need to get the subscribers flowing, subscribe.
I mean, you've got more friends than just us two. Just to clarify this.
I have. He's watching now. Hopefully, Jack, if you're watching, thank you very much for subscribing.
Open YouTube, and now... search West Ham Unofficial, unsubscribe.
Oh, that is cruel. There's just no need for that, is there? Do you want me to remove him from the stream? Do you want me to remove him from the stream, Jake?
That's a good button, that is. It's a good button.
Yeah. What, this one?
Yeah, that one, yeah.
Bye-bye, Duke. You can clear off. Go and make yourself a cup of tea. No, I'll bring it back. I'm not that cruel. Or
are you?
Well, I can be.
Shall we do predictions?
What, for the match? I did mine earlier. Were you not listening?
Did you? Oh,
We're
well,
talking about a match.
Oh God.
I was too busy sending the link up. Pizza. I was just going, well, there you go. I want some pizza now.
Happy days.
Happy days.
Listen,
Happy
with
days.
the amount of shout-outs that we gave in the video the other day, King of Shaves have not got back to me.
Yeah, me neither. I was
Eminem Direct, they
that.
didn't get back to me. I don't know what's going on. He probably ain't going to get back to me. He ain't going to get back to me after my comments.
Oh yeah. We know you dished the dirt on Mike Ashley. If any of you are wondering what that's all about, you 12 people watching, go and watch last week's episode.
No.
Skip all the nonsense about the match. It's fine. Just cut to the last, I don't know, half hour, was it? There's a load of stuff there about Mike Ashley.
Jake is about to wet himself, right? He is about to wet himself.
Add it to the stream. Add it to the stream, Gatesy boy.
It's coming. It's coming. There we go. Da, 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 da. How'd you like those onions, ladies and gentlemen? 55 subscribers.
We're slowly getting there.
45 more before.
I've got lots of people in my phone contacts. I've got lots of people in my phone contacts to subscribe to this channel.
And just think of all the people that when you go back to school on Wednesday, that you can tap Andy and go, oi.
Just a quick message for Andy. I'm going to cover that in a minute. Once these two have stopped chatting about whatever it is that they want to talk about, Andy, I'm going to cover your comment momentarily, mate. So just hang on. We'll get back to talking about football once these two.
We might even, as I said earlier, I'm going to open up the channel. I'm going to open it up. We're going to
get the link going.
The human.
So much for half hour, then, yeah.
West Ham community. We might even get Andy on. You never know. He might grace us with his presence.
I've got 20 minutes.
I'll be finished. In about 4 hours' time, I'll be finishing this video. That's all right.
I got 10 to 20 minutes, boys. Let's go.
I'm gonna throw caution to the wind.
There it is.
There it is.
Foe is in the chat. Foe's in the
chat. Fill your boots, ladies and gentlemen. You 13 people. If you've got nothing else to do and you're feeling a bit lonely, you know, your birds dumped you and you've lost your job and all the rest of it.
I'll tell you what, you are literally a beacon of hope, aren't you? Like, literally.
I'm a West Ham fan. Of course I'm a beacon of hope. It's the hope that kills you.
There you go.
Terrible.
If we reach 100 subscribers.
Yep.
By the end of March.
You're not wrong, mate. But as I say, we need you to sort of spread the word a little bit, spread the love. Any West Ham fans out there, to say we're not actually that bothered who they support. You know, we'll take all comers. We're not fussy.
There you go. Right, should we do R11 now? Just to
Shall we?
Yeah, I think we should.
There are 2 teams.
14.
Now, so this wasn't from the Yorkshire Evening Post, ladies and gentlemen. This was from the very depths of my own psyche, my own thoughts, and all the rest of it. So this is what I'm thinking. We've got someone that's just dropped in. Let me have a look. Right, no. Andy, can you just sit there for two ticks, mate? I'm just going to rattle through this. So don't mind me, mate. It's fine. You just sit there and make yourself a cup of tea. I'll be there in 2 ticks. Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go full screen with this. So I'll get rid of that. Look, I'm getting better at this, aren't I? Anyway. So I believe that we're going to go 4-3-1. I don't think we're going to go 5 at the back against a Leeds United team that are quite vulnerable at the back.
I didn't say 5 at the back. I said 3 at the back.
No.
Don't start putting words in my mouth.
5/3, whatever. Listen, can I just sort of get this one out and then I'll let you crack on. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Go and make yourself another cup of tea. Anyway,
I'm off. I'll see you later.
No,
come back. Don't you dare. You know that I would crumble and turn to dust without you. Anyway.
What, me?
Both of
you. We both would, Jake.
Yeah. Stay there. Right. So it's my understanding that Fabianski will play. There was some pictures that got leaked out, some photographs from Rush Green. Despite the fact that they said, he hadn't trained all week. There was a photograph of him at Rush Green training on Friday. So I rather suspect that Fabianski comes back between the sticks. Thank goodness. The back 4 that I believe will be put out will be from left to right: Aaron Cresswell, Virgil van Dawson, Issa Diop, and Vladimir Soufal. The two sitting in midfield, they pick themselves, ladies and gentlemen. This is no shock. Declan Rice, the captain, and Thomas Soucek, our top goal scorer. 26 million, was it Barcelona? Oh, I don't think so. I think
rubbish.
I think you need to up that by a minimum of 100% before we even give it a second's thought. But there you go. That's just my opinion. As I said earlier, I think that this game is absolutely tailor-made for Saeed Benrahma. I think he's coming in. I think Pablo Fornals is going to be shifted across to the right. I think Bowen has got a role on the bench. Jesse Lingard in the number 10 position, just behind Michail Antonio. Gentlemen, your thoughts on that predicted lineup from the Gatesy Meister?
Yeah, Benrahma in there. Thank you very much. Yeah. Lingard. Yeah, whatever. I think we're gonna win.
Oh, do you now?
Yeah, whatever. No, I mean, no. Listen, I'm feeling a bit. Feeling a bit sorry for Bowen. I know everyone's been cracking on about the kid over the last few weeks. His lack of form. Gatesy, you've said it yourself about the fact that he tends to run down with his eyes looking at his feet rather than what's going on in front of him. And it's a shame really because he's a better player than he's actually portraying himself at the moment. And I want to see him. I want to see him be able to come back to what we had, a few months ago. It's a shame, really, because he's an outstanding talent, and I think Gatesy in my video that I did with you, where we were talking about, the tier systems. He's got a fantastic career ahead of him at West Ham, a fantastic career, and I just think we need to nurture him. We need to get him back to where he was a few months back. Otherwise, it'll be a kind of wasted endeavour from us if we just keep using him off the bench, because his confidence will just continue to fall and plummet and disappear.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have brought into, as I'm sure you can see in the bottom left of your screen, we have someone that's come to join us, Motley Crew. Andy, how are you, sir?
Yeah, happy Saturday, mate. It's stress-free until Monday, so we can't complain.
There's no stress that's even going to occur on Monday, surely. What could possibly go wrong?
We draw. It's either a win or a draw. I can't see us losing, personally.
No,
I really
either.
can't. Antonio's just, I'll put it in the comments, Antonio's just going to run, them centre-backs are going to not know. They can't defend at the best of times, and he's just going to get one or two of them out of the game. And like what Jake said, that Luke Ayling bombed forward, same as that Alioski, who I can't stand. It's Aston Villa all over again away, I think. We're just going to tear them apart, personally.
Do you think Lingard's going to be the main man? I think he's probably going to be getting... Yeah?
Benrahma.
Yeah.
I said it in the comment. He's going to score a goal. He's going to score one of them goals like what he done for Brentford, where he just cuts in and he's just going to smash it in. I've got that feeling. He's just going to be given too much room and he's going to punish him.
Yeah, no, I think this game is tailor-made for him. I really do. What were you complaining for now?
Oh, you just put that up at the bottom. You just put that up at the bottom. I don't see there's any need for it. I don't see there's any need for it. All right.
I commented that about 10 minutes ago.
I know you did, but he's now put it up at the bottom. You've come on here. You've hijacked our stream. I mean, what am I meant to do?
Andy,
yeah,
kick me off.
How many West Ham fans do you reckon you've got in your contacts list?
Oh, shall I try? After we get off the stream, I'll go a bit. As you can see, I go sometimes, especially like for Isla and stuff like that. I'll go a bit mad on Twitter. So I reckon we're going to get the 100 subscribers by tomorrow. If I'm lucky, I'm just going to keep going.
Yeah. No,
yes, Andy, I love you. Get in.
Or we'll have to do it after when we win on Monday. It'll be not the man of match of the world. A song to sing at the end.
Do it now. Get it done.
I've got someone that's in the green room. I've got someone else that's popped into the green room.
Oh, it's just descending into absolute brilliance. I love it.
Should we,
2 hours.
should we let them in?
Come on.
Should we let them
go
in?
on.
Go
Listen.
on.
Yeah.
Here he is.
Peachy boy.
Bring it on.
JK boys in the place to be.
Peachy
How you
boy.
doing? What's up, my G?
I'm going to be back
It's
2
my
minutes.
saviour.
2 minutes. 2 minutes. I'm going to plug me laptop in. I'll be back.
He's battery's about to die. That's what do you do?
Hey,
Peach,
Peach,
wait,
Peach.
Yo, Gatesy, what did he call you? Gucci? He call you Gucci, dog?
Listen. So long as it's reasonably polite, I'm probably going to answer to
Listen,
it.
it's no worse
He
than what
could
I
call me
called him.
Susan. It'd be fine. Do you notice this? Look at this. Somebody has unsubbed. Why? Why?
Why?
Would you possibly do
Because they
that?
don't want to hear me sing.
You can't do them things, dog. Once you subscribe, you're like in for life, dog. We're like a mafia at 4 times. How you mean?
Yeah, it's like supporting West Ham. You know, once you're in the club, you know, you ain't going anywhere. You know, and I've said it many times. You know, I would rather change my wife than my football team, and my wife is a matter of feet from me as I say that.
Those are fighting words,
And she's
dog.
not
Mate, so do I.
She's not flinched, so she understands, despite the fact that she's
I'd rather
That
you
team-
change your wife, to be honest with you, but that's just because she's a Spurs fan.
Oh, no. You said that
Well,
before, didn't you?
as I said, she can cook. She can cook.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, touche.
Peach, talk to me. Thoughts
Yo.
on Monday?
Ah, man. Monday. Manic Monday, right? Didn't like the Bengals or the Go-Go sing that Manic Monday? Yo, we're gonna beat them. We're gonna beat them. I ain't even worried. We're gonna have them for breakfast, lunch, like Jake would say, tea and dinner. Straight up.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I would be, with the greatest of respect, I think I would be quite concerned if Fabianski wasn't between the sticks. And with the greatest of respect to Darren Randolph, yeah, for me, he's a Premier League number 2 for a reason, because he's not good enough to be a Premier League number 1. Now, maybe I'm being a bit harsh, but I'll get your thoughts on it. Rewind to the Manchester City game, and I'll start with Peach, and then we'll move on to Andy and go round the class. If Lucas Fabianski was between the sticks against Manchester City, does he at least do better with their first goal?
Absolutely, man. Like Randolph's like Roberto in disguise, dog. Like I don't mind him, but he ain't that. He ain't Fabianski quality, man.
You've moved places, Duke.
Yeah, listen. What have I said to you? I can't keep doing this. Listen, it's not. It's like being in a relationship. You're like my missus. You don't listen.
What have I done
Right?
now?
You don't listen. Where do I sit when we have guests?
Am I
I
allowed to
sit
say
at the end. You sit at the start, and they sandwich in between us. This is how it works.
God, stop
I
complaining.
just can't do this. Honestly,
Go
I can't.
on, Duke.
Andy, bring some sanity to this conversation.
No, I absolutely agree with what everyone's just saying. Not just in this chat. I think he even does better on the second goal. I think his positioning was all wrong for the second goal. He was too far over, and if Fabianski isn't fit for Monday, you're going to say this. I would chuck Nathan Trott in goal. I wouldn't even put Martin in goal.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
I'll chuck Trott in. Stephen Bible had done it all them years ago, and he didn't turn out as a. But how are they going to get experience if you don't chuck him in?
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
I agree. Yeah.
Now,
Duke.
Fo, there's no need for this. There's no need for this. I'm sorry. There's nothing poor about Mrs. Gates. Mrs. Gates is very well looked after. Let me assure you.
There is one thing that's
Let me
poor
assure
about
you.
Mrs. Gates. Oh, bye, Peach. There's one thing poor about Mrs. Gates, and that's her taste in partner.
Excuse me. She's got a West Ham fan in her life. What more could she possibly ask for?
You know what? That's the only good thing that her partner's got going for him.
Right,
Oh, actually, There's another good thing that our partner's got going for him, and that's his partner in crime on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, I suppose there is that. But
hang on,
I however, could not possibly comment.
No.
Can I just say, Duke's like, oh god, this is another 2-hour live stream. I'm going to leave you in a minute, but this is another 2-hour live stream.
You're going to wake up tomorrow morning and we're still going to be going, Jake. I'll tell you that. I can see it. Pete's going to be asleep in a corner.
We're not allowed. We're not allowed to go until we get 100 subscribers.
That's a
listen.
Wow.
Listen.
Andy,
right, I've had enough of this.
Train of thought.
I've been ganged up on him. Listen, Peach doesn't want me singing because he'll know he'll have a rival. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, blah 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 blah.
No.
Right, anyway, boys, listen. I've got this crazy idea. I'll tell you, this is something a bit mental, a bit crazy, a bit ridiculous. But we're the Forge from Iron YouTube channel. We're a West Ham. How about we talk about it? Come on, let's try this. Let's try something completely off the bat. Let's talk about football.
To be fair. I did try. I asked a question about Fabianski, and then we went off on one of those tangents again.
We have a habit of that. We listen. We're going to have to employ someone to keep us on kilter. Just to let me. Yeah, I agree. Whatever was said, I agree. I don't care.
Do you want me to say something?
That was it. Nathan Trott, bring him in. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
you seen much of him, Andy? I mean, obviously he came on at the end of the game against Stockport. I mean, to be honest with you, I've seen little clips of when he was out on loan at Wimbledon, and I've got a few mates that are Wimbledon fans who said he did okay. Nothing spectacular, but he did okay. But for me, he should have gone out on loan, surely, in the summer, shouldn't he? To maybe a championship club.
Well,
who's that, Gatesy? Who's that?
Trott, Nathan Trott.
Oh yeah, no, 100%, 100, just to get some game time. Absolutely.
No, I've seen him a few times. Do you know, like when they show a few of the under-23 highlights, and then they show like he has got a big presence about him. You don't really see him like scared of coming for the ball and stuff like that. And especially when he went to AFC Wimbledon, that's a league when the ball spends more the amount of crosses and stuff what he comes through as well. And the Premier League is exactly the same. And in my opinion, in the Premier League, goalkeepers get more protection. They get more protection. So if he does get clattered, he's going to get the foul. So I'll chuck him in. I've always said it. You should always pick. He's not in the under-23s for a reason. If they're crap, they get rid of him normally. So I'll chuck him in.
Yeah. What were you laughing at?
He knows. He knows.
Put the screen on. Put my shed screen on.
Oh, God. Must I? What now? Oh, we are getting closer. Duke? Is it
Yes,
about
Robert?
now that you is it about now that you realise that adrenaline is coloured brown?
Alexa.
Alexa.
I can't play it because we'll get done for copyright. So we can't.
We nearly got in
When
trouble
you
with
don't
that
know,
last
ask
week.
Alexa.
No. Going back to Nathan Trott, I think the reason he didn't go out, on loan, I think was because I think we were looking to use him a little bit more. He's certainly been and I might be wrong. So if anyone knows, where's he going? I might be wrong, but he's got to get a cider. That's what he's doing. We might have. Has he been? He's been an ever present, has he, for the under-23s and the developmental squad? Go on, mate. Sorry.
I think he has, and like you said, I just saw James's comment there. They say he's not good enough, but we won't know until you try him. Do you know what I mean? Like that's. True. I think Premier League experience is when players are made. Like people said that Declan Rice wasn't good enough when he had them first few games, and he went off at half time at Liverpool. And look how he's turned out. So I don't think you can judge anyone until they've played in the Premier League. FA Cups is not the same either. Premier League's Premier League football.
Yeah, I mean, I think I look at, like you mentioned his name earlier, Stephen Bywater. He wasn't the greatest of goalkeepers, but he came in and he did a job for us. He wasn't fantastic. I wouldn't say he was poor, but he came in and he did a job. And if Trott can come in and do that, and even if it is just against Leeds on Monday night, and he comes in and he keeps a clean sheet, then so be it. As far as I'm concerned, he concedes one, and he has 2 shots on target. He concedes one, and we win 3-1. So we've still won the game. So as far as I'm concerned, for me, it doesn't matter whether he's ready. It doesn't matter whether he's good enough at the moment or whether he's good enough full stop. And don't get me wrong, I understand where James is coming from, and it's this entire thing, this entire channel is based around other people's opinions, not just ours. So if James feels he's not ready, then so be it. If he thinks he's not good enough, then so be it. But listen, I did my video with Gatesy the other night around the 3. Oh dear, James is coming and we're in trouble. I'm leaving. No, I did my video the other day with Gatesy, and I actually binned all 3 goalkeepers, first team goalkeepers, as of right now. I know you kept Fab and you kept Randolph, didn't you, Jake? But I binned all 3. I was quite happy to see them all go. As far as I'm concerned, no disrespect to Fabianski, but we're better than that now, as far as I'm concerned. I'd like to think that we could attract someone like Dean Henderson. I think we could attract someone like Areola from PSG. Now they're certainly not first choice names at their current teams. They could come to us, become mainstays of a squad that we're putting together that are quite youthful in an average age of what we're going for, and could be around for 7, 8, 9, 10 years, as far as I'm concerned, with the likes of Henderson at 23. So listen, get trying. Oh dear God, I'm out.
Here we go.
No, man. Don't become. No,
James.
Mate, I can't believe what I'm hearing about Trott. We need go and pay the money and go and get Nick Pope, Areola, Henderson. Just pay the money.
We're just on about for the Leeds game. I'm not saying first choice. I meant if you had the choice out of Martin or Trott.
He's not ready, man. He's not ready. He's done nothing at Wimbledon. He's not playing in any championship. He ain't got up another level. Right? How can he go from Wimbledon to the Premier League? Let's be honest.
But you never know.
Let's be honest.
Give him a shot.
Yeah, but the thing is, every West Ham fan will moan when he starts conceding goals, saying, "Oh, he's not ready." So you can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. You can't say to him, "Oh, chuck him in." He's playing against Premier League strikers and he's conceding goals for Wimbledon. Like, think about it. Right, goalkeeper and striker are the most important positions on the pitch. Right, go and get an experienced keeper or a ready-made keeper. Pay the money, get it done. Simple as that. Nick Pope, Areola, Dean Henderson, Johnson from West Brom. You can go Carl Darlow at Newcastle. There's 5 I've just said straight away.
Oh no!
Do you know what I mean? Or do you know what I mean? So you got 5 goalkeepers there you can go and possibly get. Do you know what I mean? It's not. You can't be going and chucking a young kid in and then going to him, right, you've got to go and play Premier League football now. Right, good luck. You're up against world-class strikers. Ain't going to work.
James,
he done.
James,
go on.
Because we spoke obviously yesterday when I did your interview, and I completely agree with what you said on a couple of the youth players as I presented them to you. That we need to be sending them out on loan, and they need to be going and being tested against whether it's League 2, League 1, or Championship. They need to be playing against seasoned, veteran men's football and not under 23s. They can't learn as much in 100 under 23 games as they would in 20 games in the Championship. It's that simple. However, playing devil's advocate, is there a case to say that perhaps a player could play at a higher level and look better because of maybe I don't know whether it's motivation or whether they just
I'm going to give you a prime example right now. Right, one person, Ramsdale. Right, let's go back to when West Ham got knocked out of the FA Cup against Wimbledon. Who was in goal for Wimbledon? Ramsdale. Right, he now went to Bournemouth, got relegated with Bournemouth, and now he's going to get relegated with Sheffield United because the geezer is not good enough for the league. Now, there's your answer, right? You need to learn your trade, right? Any trade you do in life, whether it's plastering, plumbing, you've got to learn your game, right? You can't go and chuck a young lad in and say, there you go, mate, you're a Premier League footballer, right? Who's he going to learn off? All our goalkeepers are going to go. Like Fabianski's going to retire because he ain't going to stay there for long. Martin's going to retire because he's the same age, if not a little bit younger. And we're relying on Randolph. Like, if the goalkeeper is one of the most important positions, right?
Definitely.
So you can't muck about. You cannot muck about with youngsters who are not ready, right? Because once they get under pressure, then what's going to happen then? People are going to start going, you know what? He's not ready. He's not ready. Why didn't you see it that he's not ready? Do you know what I mean? You can go and loan a goalkeeper. Look at Fulham. They've just gone and loaned Areola, for crying out loud, right? And he's one of the best goalkeepers in the league. Do you know what I mean?
Sorry, James. Fo's just made a comment in the chat. I don't know if you can see it. He says, I honestly think we'll sign a foreign goalkeeper, Kolar from Slavia, Strakosha from Lazio, or Paul Lopez from Roma. They would represent better value than the English goalkeepers. I'll start with we'll start with Jake real quick because I know you've got a dash in a minute, buddy. So what's your thoughts on that one, mate?
Well, for me, I personally prefer for us to bring Johnston in from West Brom. I think that he does a good shot stopper. He looks really good. To be fair, all I want is a good shot stopper who's a decent and well trained and known goalkeeper that we've all seen. I personally prefer it to be English, but I don't care. To be fair,
as long as they can do the job,
as long as they're good, yeah. As long as they're good, I don't care.
For me, I would bid 50 million for Henderson and Lingard in the summer. I'd get both. And the way I see it is Henderson 23. If he stays with us for 10 years, that's 3 million a year. That's nothing for a goalkeeper, is it?
I know, but ain't you afraid that like Rice will go the other way, dog? If we do them things?
No, that Rice won't. If we get Europe, Rice won't leave.
Agreed.
And that would be a bold statement because, like you said, Rice is in Moyes' ear saying you need to sign quality players, and that's 2 international players right there. And then we've got our just need to strengthen in another position, another centre midfield player. And then we're pretty much getting the full package what we've been crying out for already.
James, I'll come to you because obviously I know that time is precious to you at the minute, mate. So I'll jump it onto you. Fo's comments there. Your thoughts on where he's going with that?
I think really it's hard to go and get a foreign keeper who isn't established to the league. Do you know what I mean? It's a different league to any other league in the world, basically. Do you know what I mean? If you're going to go that way, me personally, go and put a £40 million bid in for Nick Pope. Get him out of Burnley. If we get European football, that geezer will keep us, will save us a lot of points, and he's an asset. He can stay there for the next 5, 6, 7 years. You know what I mean? You can do that with Henderson. I don't think Johnson is ready yet. I think he's been in all these goalkeepers that we seem to be linked with are all in the bottom 3. So that's not really a good sign, is it? But then you can't say that because Fabianski was in the bottom 3 and when Swansea went down. So exactly. I can't be too silly about that. But obviously, if I out of the bottom 3, if I was to pick one, I'd go for Areola straight away. I think he's different class. I think if we go and get him, loan him for a season with an option to buy at the end of the season, that's a good bit of business. But then, no, luck, Fulham stay up, Newcastle go down, and he stays there. So that's just about how luck. But if it was me and I had the money and had the purse strings, pay the money, go and get Nick Pope out of Burnley. Right, he's wasted at Burnley. And if we don't do it soon, someone else will. And I know exactly who will do it, Tottenham. Tottenham will get rid of Luis and go after him straight away. So, yeah, that's what would happen. So, and that's what I've been hearing and all. Tottenham might be looking at him in the summer. So that's what I think.
Before we go too much further, guys, I've just had a message in the private chat. Jake has got to depart. Jake is going to leave the building.
Big up, Jake.
Thanks very much for coming, Jake.
Cheers, guys.
Enjoy your pizza,
Cheers,
my
buddy.
friend.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
your pizza, dog.
Thank you. Cheers, guys.
Right.
Take care, Jake.
Yo, you know what? You know what I'd say, dog? You know what I'd say? I'd say this. I say James is right on the money. Areola would be like, he'd be what you'd expect, but Pope would be like a dream signing, straight up.
100%. Like what BG's saying is 100%. Like you've got a player who's established there, or you've got a player that you know is just who could walk into West Ham's first team and go, right, Nick Pope, number one, bang, sorted. Like, actually, goalkeeper sorted. Do you know what I mean? We can't. All I'm saying is, right. All I'm going to say is on this, is you can't muck about with goalkeeping positions. Because we done it last year with Roberto, and look what happened there. I'm not saying Trott is the same as Roberto, but he's got to learn. He's got to learn his trade. Like he's got to go in the Championship. You've got to go and play in the Championship, and you've got to work your way up. Every good player seems to have to go in the leagues. Harry Kane's done it. Jermaine Defoe's done it. Frank Lampard done it back in the day. With all top players seem to have to go on loan. Even Jesse Lingard done it back in the day. So he went on loan to Leicester.
He went on loan, didn't he? Like,
yeah, he went to Leicester on loan for a season or half a season, whatever it was. So you can't muck about with it. Yeah. I honestly think it's a major concern because we're the only club in the whole of the Premier League who basically seems to have injuries to goalkeepers. I've never known us to have injuries to goalkeepers. Any other team in the Premier League, last season we got away with it just about because of but even then last season Roberto in goal. Don't go and buy someone who we don't know about, don't know the league. Right? When there's 5 goalkeepers I've named there where one of them they've all played in the league, they all know the league, they know what to expect. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I think, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yo, going from goalkeepers to like midfielders, James, would you keep Felipe Anderson?
Not for me, mate. He's done his time. I'm afraid it's time to go.
Yeah,
it's time to go. I'm afraid. I think he started off well, but he's just lost his way. He'd be suited in Italy or somewhere, like Italy or the Dutch league or something like that.
Not where he's not expected to defend.
Yeah, he's basically the Premier League's too fast for him. A bit like Balbuena. Balbuena's a good defender, but he's too slow. And when you're too slow, you're gonna get found out, and that's basically it, really. I'm just saying it how I see it. Obviously, I respect every man's opinion, but speed. One thing I will say, and we all know it: speed kills. And if we ain't got pace in your team, then you're in trouble. Do you know what I mean? And that's the thing with us.
For that all year, mate.
No, 100. I take that cat from Leicester, Justin, over Balbuena any day of the week.
We're looking for Fowler.
Had another comment from Foe, guys. Johnston is a no for me. No to Ramsdale. Henderson and Pope are too expensive. Let's be realistic. Our transfer budget is a reported £60 million. We can't afford to buy a £40 to £50 million goalkeeper.
Agreed.
Yeah, but what you do
I like what Stevie said about like the abroad keepers, like the ones in like Poland or wherever. Like we might find some gems, like how we found Sutal and Suchek, man.
What you do is though you put a loan in. You put a loan in an option to buy. Not saying like you're going to do that with Pope or like you might be able to get away with that with Henderson, maybe if the offer's decent enough because he's not playing, and he's like you might be able to get away with that. You won't get away with that with Pope, but Areola you could get away with that all day long. Like if PSG want to get rid, loan him for a season with an option to buy at the end of the season or an option to buy in January. Obviously,
well, could you not play the game there though? And I know we're very good at it right now. is you do it over instalments. Surely, if you've only got, and I know it's slightly difficult, obviously, with what we've got in charge and the owners and everything else. But surely, when you've got quite a limited budget like that, you'd look at, either, like you say, James, loan with options to buy, or you've got to look at, X amount of installments. Try and stretch that money as far as you can. Okay, you're going to be eating into next season's kind of, next season's transfer fee, if you will. But surely you've got to hedge your bets. For me, £60 million, 60 to 80 million pound. Now I've got a video coming up, hopefully soon, if I can get my arse in gear to do it. But I've worked out we need at least 7 next season, 7
100%.
new players to be able to
100%.
compete. And I did actually write down 14 names, and those 14 names that I've written down on a sheet of paper, actually the total cost, give or take, would be about 238 million. Now we don't have that kind of money probably for the next 4 or 5 years to be able to spend. But I'd hedge my bets a little bit with the fact, this season more than likely, it's more than likely we're going to qualify for some sort of European football, be that, the European Conference if it goes ahead, or the Europa League. But surely you'd hedge your bets with a little bit of the cash that you might get back from that. And go, we'll give you 40. You want £40 million for Pope? I'll give you 10 million a year for the next 4 years, or however you work it over that. So you can.
Or what you do,
gives Burnley a little bit of a parachute as well.
Yeah, what you do, you go 5 million a year. Simple as that. Like, so you go 25 million up front, bang, right, and go 5 million over 12 months, over 36 months. There's ways of doing it. I'm going to have to shoot though because I've got to shoot now. But what I'm saying is, with goalkeeper is a major thing at the club at the minute, because we've got 3 goalkeepers over the age of like 30, and we need to start looking. So basically, we need to start looking a bit more sensible. Like, you can't go down the Roberto route, because we go down there, we get relegated. No. There's no 2 ways about it. Like, you can't go with people like Ramsdale. I think it's ridiculous even offering him. Like 3 years ago, he's playing for Wimbledon, and like, do you know what I mean? Now he's playing for Sheffield United. And when you look at the goalkeeper front, I leave this with you, right? But when you look at the goalkeeper front, Ramsdale's a Premier League goalkeeper, but who realistically is going to go in there and buy him? Like out of the 20 Premier League clubs, no one's going to go in there and go, you know what? He's the man who's going to be our number one.
It's not a great resume, is it? 2 relegations in successive seasons, and you're only 2 seasons as a sort of like a Premier League number 1.
Yeah. I mean, you can get yourself your foot in the door, but once your foot's in the door, if you're not good enough, you've got to admit that something's got to give there. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I think personally. I think at the end of the day, 60 million is not even enough. Right, for what we need. I agree with Duke 100%. 7 players minimum. Right, and I'll quickly read off the players. I think we need 2 strikers, 2 midfielders, 1 left back, and a goalkeeper. Right, and maybe another sort of defensive, maybe another midfielder, maybe 3 midfielders.
I actually went with my list. I went 2 strikers. I think I included Lingard in there as being one of the players to bring in as a 7, but it was 2 strikers. It was 2 central defensive midfielders to give Souček and Rice that break, if you will, over so long. I think a goalkeeper or a goalkeeper and a centre back was one, and now the priority now would be 2 centre backs, with Balbuena's contract now coming to an end and him not signing. So you could now say 8, but for me, a priority would be even 2 goalkeepers, to be fair. One is your first choice, and then one is not necessarily a Roberto, for crying out loud, please God no, but you get the idea of that. We need someone that's going to be willing to sit behind whoever it is that we now buy. We go out and try and get Areola and Henderson. Neither of them are going to want to play second fiddle to the other one. So the other one's not that second one that you buy isn't coming, because he's not going to want to play second fiddle. So, but no, I mean, I will do a video, James. But you're right, 7, 8 players, and we're looking at least probably 140, 150 pound, 150 million pound that we need to spend.
And also, before I have to shoot, right, we don't know if Noble's going to retire. Because nothing would surprise me if he turned around and said, you know what, it's time to call it a day. Because he's a proud man. He might want to play football all the time, but he ain't going to get in our starting lineup at the minute. So he might look at it and think, I don't want to leave. I don't want to go and play for no one else. It might be time to say goodbye. So that's another player at the door, right, who wants to go. But I honestly believe we need about 100 million spent. And that is no joke. I think the players we need, I think there's a little issue with Tony. I think the Winston Reid loan to Brentford is a sweetener for Tony in the summer. And I can see that being like a 10, 15 million pound cash plus Winston Reid. So that wouldn't surprise me. So that would surprise me. If that's
I'd take that all day long, mate. No, to be honest with you, I'd take that all day long.
Oh no! Yeah, and they're buttering them up. They're buttering Brentford up with Winston Reid being there. I get that, James. I get that.
Anyway, lads, I'm gonna have to go. You take care. Have a good evening. I'll catch up with you again soon.
Thanks for coming on again, mate. We appreciate it.
I have to jump on.
You jump on, I'll jump on.
Right. All the best, man.
Cheers, buddy. Take care.
Oh, he's such a G, man. That man is quality, man. Not on business. That man is quality, man.
So we haven't got your take on this comment from Foe.
But you said that the 60 million, that's a 60 million pound budget. That's what they set at the start of the season. If we finish in fifth what about the money what we get from that? There'll be more money added to the transfer budget. This is what we're predicting. I can us having more money.
I certainly hope so. And I mentioned that to Jake on a recording that we did earlier. Watch this space, guys. It's a cracker. That's coming out Tuesday, 1:30 in the afternoon. Don't miss it. Anyway, back on topic. Wasn't
the 60 million that was reported was supposedly his war chest for next season? And bear in mind, we've still got the 20 million pound that he didn't spend on a striker in January. So surely that's going to be
the 20 million.
Yes,
it's 20 million from the Haller sale.
Yeah,
what's left over, and it's what they believe they're going to get from the sales of Lanzini, Anderson, and Yarmolenko. Right. So those three players they believe will fetch 40 million quid. Now, guys, what I have to ask you: do you think we're getting 40 million for those three?
Right.
Andy?
Maybe, and if we get into the Champions League, that's like more money too.
Yeah.
I can see us getting 15 million for both. I'll say 15 million for Lanzini. I can see him probably going back to Argentina, to be perfectly honest. He always still does his tweets and likes of all his clubs where he's played before. So I reckon we could get that. Anderson, I think we could probably get 10. And I think we'll probably do a Carlos, not a Carlos Sanchez, but pay off his contract and just get Yarmolenko to leave on a free.
Yeah, I don't think he's leaving any other way. He's on.
I don't think he can because of his wages.
Yeah, he's on. That's the thing. We're going to have to take a hit on that, aren't we? We're probably going to have to pay 60% of his contract or whatever for him to, clear off on his bike.
How much? It's like 115,000 quid a week, dog. That's insane.
He's on 100K a week, I believe.
That's what I'm saying, dog. That's madness.
What do you boys stand on selling Masuaku?
I love Masuaku, man. I love Masuaku, dog.
If you could get 10 million
we can't get rid of him, dog. We cannot get rid of him.
I'll tell you who's a shout, but I think other players will be out is Lookman from Red Bull after his loan finishes with Fulham. He can play on both wings. I like the look of him. I think he would be a great addition. But I've just thought of a goalkeeper for next season just to get it out for Fab. Would you take Fraser Forster from Southampton as a number 2?
Ooh, as a number 2.
Who was that? Who was that? I didn't hear that. Who was that?
Forster at Southampton.
Oh, what, the goalkeeper?
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll take it a step further, Andy.
That's a good shout.
I'm going to be agent provocateur yet again.
Again.
I love that role. Yeah, whatever. I wear that cap proudly.
Go on,
How
Gatesy.
about we go for their number 1, not their number 2? How about we go for Alex McCarthy?
Oh, he's tidy, man. He's tidy.
He's a good goalkeeper. English.
Yeah.
I think he's still in his. I think he's yet to hit his prime, or he might just be in his prime. Rather than go for Southampton's number 2, why don't we go for their number 1? I mean, hopefully we can offer them European football or him European football next season. All things being equal, Southampton can't.
Here's another one. I've heard today, because a couple of people at work are Everton fans. I've heard Everton are going for a German goalkeeper. I can't remember. I think he plays for Wolfsburg or Schalke or something. Would you go and get Jordan Pickford?
Duke?
Ooh, Duke, that's a question, dog. That is a question, Duke. That is a question right there, man.
Right, so back in not the January transfer window, August transfer window, Butland went to Palace, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
500 grand. 500 grand.
I'm telling you now, we missed the boat on that as far as I'm concerned. I would have taken Jack Butland at the drop of a hat. Pickford,
100%.
if you want my honest opinion, no, I'm not a huge fan of Jordan Pickford. I'm really not. I'm not. Although he's the England goalkeeper, I'm still convinced he makes too many mistakes. I really am. You know, I think he's rash. I think he's too quick to make stupid decisions. You know, if a little bit of work, he could become a goalkeeper, like a top class goalkeeper. But do you really want to spend the money on someone his age already kind of, you know, a set number 1 in trying to improve someone? Do you see what I mean? I'd rather spend that money on someone like Henderson, and improve them. You know, listen, if we're looking at Red Bull model and maybe even a Dortmund model, Henderson's the perfect age to bring a goalkeeper in to sell on in a number of years' time as being that, you know, to rake in a bit more cash. So if we could get Henderson for a relatively good price, for instance, and then flog him on for a bit more, fantastic. But Pickford, for me, Pickford's that player that you should be bringing in, or should be the player now that Everton command a lot more than they paid for. And they can't do that as far as I'm concerned.
I take Pope in front of Pickford all day long. All day long.
15 million, I think, from Sunderland.
Yeah, see, are you going to get much more than that for Pickford now? Although he's an England international goalkeeper, are you going to get 25, 30? You're not, are you?
I think Pickford makes many mistakes. Is the way Everton like to play. They want this fancy football where you play it around at the back. And if you look at Fabianski rarely does that. And if you start. I think that's to do with the goalkeeper coach as well. Like the way if you change him and go, you don't have to pass the ball around and make rash decisions. And if you could try, I think Pickford's a very, very good shot stopper, very, very good. And you're going to laugh at this as well, but you rarely get left-footed goalkeepers either. So for a left-footed goalkeeper, and he can flip and kick it quite far. And look at Edison for Man City. I think he'd be a great signing, but it's just
My only concern with your comment there about the fact that goalkeepers and, you know, playing it out from the back and the way that, you know, the goalkeeping coaches and everything else, that was the reason that City got rid of Joe Hart, wasn't it? And for me, he came to us and he was just as bad as a goalkeeper. I see where you're coming from, and the habit now is to play the ball out from the back. Is to have a goalkeeper who, to quote Pep, is good with their feet. I don't want my goalkeeper to be good with his feet. I want my goalkeeper to be good with his hands. I want him to be able. I want a shot. You know, I'm not. But I just think Pickford's too rash. I think he makes his decision making of coming off his line. You know, I just for me, no. I'd like, you know, I'll go back to Peaches. I'd like Pope. I'd like Henderson. That'd be where I'd go.
Mr. Gates.
Big up, fan.
Yes.
So,
what's happening, chaps? Good evening.
You join us.
Hey,
You
good
join us
evening.
with discussion about goalkeepers. There's been a few names that have been thrown around. If you've caught them, you've caught them. If you haven't, don't worry. If you're David Moyes in the summer and Fabianski goes and David Martin, blah blah blah, and you're looking for a new goalkeeper, realistically, and he's gone. Oh dear.
It's a good conversation. I liked it.
Fantastic. Thanks for coming.
Katie, who would you take?
Your own brother out, dog.
Who would I take?
Yeah.
Well, if it's a case of realistically, I've just named him, Alex McCarthy.
Alex McCarthy is a good shout. Like real
I
talk,
think
that is a good shout.
rather than Fraser Forster, you could make a case for. Hello,
There
guys.
he is. Go on, babe.
Fraser Forster, you could make a case for, but why should we go after their number two when we can go after their number one? And I think we could get him for a decent
Go
price.
after their number one,
He's
dog.
still
All day
young,
long, man.
he's English. I think he's a very good goalkeeper. I think he's massively underrated and overlooked for me. So yeah, like I say, if all things being well, we can offer him European football. Southampton won't be able to. So why not? Rather than go for their number two, let's go for their number one.
Yeah.
Ben, over to you. You're David Moyes in the summer, as I was about to say before you dropped off. You're David Moyes in the summer. Who you think?
Just saw that, Andy.
For goalie wise,
Yeah.
Do you know what? I mean, my grasp of world football isn't what it was, so I'm not too up to speed on who the best goalies are in Italy and Spain and all that. But in terms of who I see in the Premier League that would be realistic, because I don't think Henderson is a realistic aim, if I'm totally honest. I think what they'd want for him in terms of money will getting on for below 75% of what I think our budget will be. Like they'd want 40 million. And I don't think that would be wise to splurge that on a goalie when, to be honest, I think Fabianski's got a season or two in him still. Regardless of that, I think Pope would be great, but I think again they'd probably be wanting 40 million for him, and I think he's worth that, so I don't think we get him. I think the two that spring to mind in the Premier League for me is Sam Johnston, because I think West Brom are going down, and he's a good age for a goalie, and I think he's a good goalie, and I'd have him. And also, when I've seen him, I think that Fulham goalie's top class, mate. I mean, some of the saves he made when we played them, they were out of this world. That Areola, he's mustard, mate. So,
he is mustard, man.
I honestly think in the summer, if we're looking for a goalie, those would be the two that I'd think are realistic and they wouldn't break the bank. Do you know what I'm saying? You'd probably get them for less than 20 million, I would suggest.
Of course, the only thing with Areola is that where we would be on a bit of a sticky wicket getting him in is if Fulham stay up, because my understanding is that they have an option to buy him in the event of them staying up, which I think they probably will, to be honest. I think it's going to be Sheffield United, I think it's going to be West Brom, and I think it's going to be Newcastle.
But you say that.
I want Fulham to stay up because of Scotty Parker, man. Honest.
Yeah.
You say that, Rob, but if you're Areola, all right, and they've got the option to buy it, and you know that West Ham are interested, West Ham that have more than likely a distinct possibility of European football next season, and you know they're interested. Surely, if you're in Areola's shoes, West Ham seem more like a better prospect for you going forward. So if you say sticky wicket, and I see where you're coming from, but on the flip side to that, he doesn't have to, just because they've got an option to buy it, he doesn't have to say yes to Fulham. So therefore,
no, he doesn't.
If he's under the understanding that West Ham are interested, or it gets to listen. There's ways of these players finding out that clubs are interested in. Let's not mess around and pretend it doesn't happen. If he gets wind that West Ham are interested, and he's got a choice out of 2 Premier League clubs, Fulham, who have just Fulham, who have flirted with relegation all season, and regardless of how they avoid that happening, the fact that West Ham are going to be interested, and it's the more than likely the option of that European football and a good cup run next season. God forbid that we can. What you say, sticky wicket? I say I don't see a problem with it. If I was Areola and I had West Ham or Fulham, didn't even have to be West Ham. It could have been any team that are up there fighting for the possibility of European football next season. I'm not going Fulham, whether or not I've had a good season there or not, and whether or not they've got first option on me. I can still say no. So I don't. Listen, if we go in for Areola and so to Fulham, I think he comes to us. I don't see why he would stay at Fulham. I don't see why he stay at Fulham. But that's me. I mean, that's where I'm coming from on that. So, he'd be my go-to. If I was West Ham, he would be my first choice go-to, without even having a second egg in the basket. Areola, I'd go all in for him as a goalkeeper, regardless of whether Fab leaves and what else happens there. Yeah. That'd be eggs in one basket as a goalkeeper. That's a goalkeeper I want. That's the goalkeeper I'm going after. Job done.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're coming up to an hour and a half into the broadcast. Oh, sorry, Ben. We're coming up to an hour and a half into the broadcast, guys. I think we're getting close to the point where we're going to think about wrapping it up. So obviously we've got the game on Monday. I've given my score prediction. I believe it's going to be a 3-1 West Ham win. For me, I think Newcastle. Leeds United are very reminiscent of Newcastle under Kevin Keegan in the early mid-90s. They're very good going forwards. They're a team that you would pay good money to watch if you was a neutral, but they're very open at the back. They're very vulnerable. And I think that this, as I said earlier, I think this is a game that's tailor-made for Ben Rama to come in and cause absolute havoc. I think it's going to be 3-1 to us. I think it's going to be a comfortable win. So we're going to go around the classroom. Mr. Ben. I've got a lot of time and respect for Bielsa. I think he's a fantastic manager and his teams play good football. That being said, we're growing into a little bit of a juggernaut at the minute. We've got power, we've got a bit of pace now with Lingard coming in, and I'm gonna go with you, Rob. I think we're gonna do them 3-1. Good, like to hear. And I'd absolutely love Ben Rama to break his duct and nab a goal or two.
Yeah,
definitely. Peach?
It's a 4-1 win. In a Wonderama, I want to see a goal by Bowen and Ben Rama. I think 4-1, dog. Straight up. Lingard 2, Ben Rama 1, Bowen 1. And I think Bamford or Dallas is going to score for them, dog. I think that's going to go on.
Stuart Dallas is a player I've always looked at playing for Leeds, and I've actually always had a little bit of a sort of look at him and think, he's a player. He's very versatile. He's
quality, man.
Very
you see that goal he scored the other day? That goal he scored the other day was magic, man.
Yeah, no, he's an excellent player, I think.
His stats are pretty unbelievable. I mean, every season he gets like 10 assists and 10 goals, it would seem. And he's a right-footed left back, I think, isn't he?
Yeah. No, his versatility. He can play right back. He can play left back. In the team that the Yorkshire Evening Post predicted that Leeds are going to go with, he's playing in central mid.
Yeah.
Is Calvin Phillips available for them? Is he injured?
I think the chances of him playing are vanishingly thin. From what I read, so
I think he's scared to come up against Deck. That's all it is.
I think there's every possibility you could be onto something there. Andy, on to you, mate. So your thoughts on how the game's going to unfold? Go with.
I think 3-0. I think Ben Rama will score. I think Benrahma will
I
score.
hope so.
And I'm going to put a shout out there. He hasn't scored in a while. I'm going to go for a Creswell to score a free kick, I think.
Nice.
Oh, yes!
Nice.
Yes,
Cheeky.
Andy!
I think he's due a goal. He's due a goal as well.
Yes!
And I think Lingard will score as well.
You're going to have a sneaky fiver on that?
I don't know whether you saw... I was on Ben's channel the other day and he put the questions in and I predicted our next 5 results and I put a bet on it. Even if I put £1, it's 98 grand if I put £1 bet on it.
What?
It's us to beat Leeds.
Have some of that, man. Have some of that, man.
It's us to beat Leeds.
Yep.
Us to beat Man United.
Okay.
Draw with Arsenal.
Yep.
Draw with Wolves. And beat Leicester. If all 5 come in, 98 grand.
Please tell me you put a quid on it. Oh,
yo, win that and buy a plane ticket for me to come over, dog. Straight up.
Andy,
I want to go to the Bull. I want to go to the Bull, dog. I want to go to the Bull. How you mean?
Just think about this. You could donate a couple of quid to Isla's fund, yeah?
Yeah.
And then with the rest of the money, you could bribe a load of people to subscribe to us before the month of March is out.
And
what could possibly go wrong?
I will get him a Tom Jones waistcoat and a Tom Jones afro.
You're going to go for the chest wig as well.
Yeah.
We lost the subscriber. We're down to 55. Oh no, we're back to 50. Oh, bloody hell, we're back to 56.
Someone's mucking around. Someone's having a laugh. Duke, over to you. Your score predictions.
I'm fully on side with Andy. 3-0. I really do think, as I said earlier in the video, what seems like yesterday, they concede too many goals. Probably for every goal they score, they will concede 3. You know, that's how I see this Leeds team. As you likened them to Newcastle a few moments ago. You know, under Keegan, they're fantastic going forward, and the football is great to watch, and you know, from an attacking side of things, but defensively they're bloody shocking. Like they are awful defensively. What was the game against Everton earlier in the season? Was it 5-4?
Something daft.
Yeah,
it hurt to watch. It hurt to watch as a neutral watching them defend. It made me cry. My eyes were bleeding. Like as a neutral, if I'd been a Leeds fan, I would have reached through my telly and punched Bielsa in the face. Like seriously, my God, teach these players how to defend. It's embarrassing. So I watching it, I got really frustrated that it was like, what on God's green earth are you doing? You're in the game. Stop throwing it away. Like seriously. No, 3-0. I'm fully on the Benrahma train. We all know how I feel about that guy. I think it's going to be. I can see something magical. One of them magical goals. Remember Payet against Middlesbrough? No, the Middlesbrough goal when he decided to walk through their 12 yards.
Oh, yeah, he went from the left all the way to the right. Yes,
I watched that goal on a clips thing the other day, and there were at least 47 occasions when a Middlesbrough player could have tackled him. And I believe of those 47 occasions they could have tackled him, each player could have done it twice. It looked like he was walking through treacle through their box, like serious stick-footing. I can see something like Benrahma pulling one of them out of the bag, you know, beating 2 or 3 people, edge of the box. Lingard. And you know what, Andy? I'm going to completely get on side with you here. I'd love to see Cressy, but I'd love to see him find the back of the net from a free kick. A la Manchester United, that top bins when he made the hair look embarrassingly bad. I'll take that all day long. But no, 3-0.
Walking to a treacle is like walking on mousetraps, dog.
I've got a question for another video. I've put it on a few channels and my mates in the chat. If you could bring 3 players from the team when we finish 5th into our current team, who would they be and why? But that could be for another next time.
I'll tell you what we'll do, Andy.
Oh,
Duke, make a note of that.
Yeah, I've got it already.
Make a note of that. We'll use that, Andy. We'll use that,
That's
and we'll
dope,
get you
Andy.
back
That's
in.
We'll get Andy on with us.
Yeah. We could do like a comparison. You know, like what Russ done with that team. We could do a comparison and make an 11 of like you'd pick like Fab or Hislop, and we could do like a combine. That could be a good idea.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to pop you three in the green room in a sec, but don't go anywhere once you're in there unless you absolutely have to. We'll have a chat after I hit end broadcast, and we'll sort out. We'll compare notes. So, but as I say, I'm just going to remove you individually from the stream. Don't go anywhere. So, Ben, lovely to see you again, bruv.
Big up, Ben. Come on, you Irons.
See you later.
Take it easy,
Peach,
buddy.
thanks for coming, matey.
Cheers, Peach.
See you in a minute. Andy, great idea, mate. We're going to use that. Don't you worry about that.
Take care, mate.
Sit yourself tight in the green room. We'll be here in a minute.
No worries.
Buddy.
Duke, we come to the end of another broadcast, my friend. It's been emotional.
Only another hour longer than what we were anticipating. We're good at this. Match
We're getting
preview,
better.
let's talk about transfers. Match preview, let's talk about transfers. Let's talk about me singing Sex Bomb. Listen, it is what it is. I said to you after we came off of one of the chats the other day, I just enjoyed the chat. I enjoy the interaction. It's nice. It's James came on earlier and there was a bit of a disagreement between opinions, and that's what this is all about. I'm not gonna sit here and absolutely slate him because he had a different idea to me. You know what? He's got a point in what he's saying, and I certainly don't disagree with the points that he's got coming across. So, I stick vehemently to my conversation. Do I think Trott would be okay to start and go against Leeds? Yeah, I do. Is he a long-term solution to what we've got? No, he's not. But that's that.
I'll tell you what, Duke. Shall we mix things up a little bit?
No.
Okay. So you want me to shout out?
Listen. We've had this discussion. Stop messing with the dynamic of this duo. Okay, you are Batman and I am Alfred.
All right. Okay. All right. Guys, if you've made it this far, you three that are in the back, listen up. I'm good, and I make no apologies for this. I do this every time, before and after. Isla's Army. This young lady, if you don't know who she is, Isla Caton, she's 6 years of age. She's battling neuroblastoma, which is a lethal cancer in children. Guys, she needs your help. Her family needs your help. They've had to put their entire life on hold while they cart her all corners of the globe to try and save her life. If you are a father or a mother or a grandfather, grandmother, whatever, if you have a child of that sort of age in your family, just imagine what this poor family are going through at the best of times, let alone in the middle of a pandemic. If there's anything you can do to help, whether it's £1, anything at all, or even if all you can do is share it to raise some awareness, guys, we would urge you to do that, please. Thank you very much indeed for listening. You've got the PayPal account there. You've got the Just Giving. It's all there, and we'll put it in the link in the description below later on. Thank you very much for listening. As usual, guys, drop comments on the comment section below. Like the video, share the video. It's up to you. We'd like you to. Thank you for coming. Also, you can find us on Twitter.
Don't subscribe. It's fine.
Subscribe. We need to get to 100 to get Duke singing. Tell your friends. We need to do it by the 31st of March. 100 subscribers is what we need to hit, and Duke is going to sing as Tom Jones. So if you want to see that, as I say, tell your friends. After 1st of April, they can clear off. It's fine, but they'll have done their job. But thanks for joining us, guys. You can follow us at Twitter at Forge Talk. You can get us on Facebook at Forge from Iron. I'm Gatesy. He's Duke. We are Forge from Iron. Thanks for joining us. Only one thing left to say. 3 points against Leeds on Monday. Come on, you Irons.